We're ready for the Florida Gulf Coast student athlete portion of our press conference here, and we will open it up to questions for either of the student athletes. Please raise your hand if you have a question. We will bring a microphone over to you right here. We'll get the microphone to you. So just raise your hand and we'll get started. And please state your name and affiliation as well.
Jaron May with NBC2 in Fort Myers. TK, you've been here multiple times. What kind of leadership and veteran presence does that help for you, and what can you add to this team going into tomorrow's big game?
Just coming into the game, knowing the game plan, tenacity, just a lot of tenacity. We know we're playing a great team, so if we come together, play at a great pace, I believe we can get another dub.
Shay, you started your career at the D2 level, and now you are playing in a Division I NCAA tournament game. Has that really hit you yet, and what is this experience like?
I think it actually just hit me as we were walking to the locker room and then just seeing the courts and things like that. I am unexplainably excited. I love my team. My coaches are phenomenal, so this is definitely one of those kind of dream come true moments, fairy tale kind of stories, and I can't wait for tomorrow.
TK, are there any extra nerves going into tomorrow's game compared to the regular season and everything you've been through this year?
Well, we've been preparing the same, doing everything the same. It feels the same, other than the name of March Madness. But just knowing like this is my last run, it just feels amazing.
Questions? Anybody else have any questions? Yeah, keep going. You're good.
Didn't want to hog the mic.
No, it's all good.
Shay, have you guys, obviously it was on the men's side, and this was before either of you got to FGCU, but there is history here in the city of Philadelphia with FGCU in the postseason. Has Coach talked about that, and have you guys had any conversations about that history?
We haven't gone truly in depth about it, but I know there's a little magical in this arena for us, and of course even last year how we were the 12th seed before and then just making that impactful run, so there's definitely a little bit of Cinderella-ness around us, but we're excited. He hasn't mentioned it too much because we like to create our own stories and each year is something different, but this is definitely our year to make a push for a lot of great things.
TK, with Washington State, you obviously don't want to give too much away, but what does the early scouting report look like, and what do you think you guys need to do in order to come out with a victory tomorrow?
Like I said before, just coming in, playing with our pace, FGCU basketball really, but no comment on that.
I respect that. Shay, I'll just keep going unless anybody has any other questions.
Keep going.
Shay, from a basketball standpoint, again, same kind of question. You don't want to give away X's and O's, but specifically going into this game, what do you think you need to see out of your teammates and yourself in order to get the win?
This game, it's going to be tough. They're a great team, but we're a great team as well. I think there will just have to be a lot of mental toughness. Basketball is a game of runs, so we have to just continue to stick together when things go great, when things go bad. And so I think that that's going to be our biggest thing of coming together and making sure that we stay combined as a unit and just make sure we represent FGCU and the ASUN very well.
How has this trip kind of differed from other, in a regular season, you go out, you play a game, you come back home, and you go to class. This seems like it might be a little more. How is just the preparation going into this week and this entire brighter lights? You got March Madness logo right behind you. How has this whole trip been different for you?
Kind of like TK said, everything for us, we try to just remind ourselves it's another game. Of course, there's a little more pressure because it's win or go home, but we just stick to who we are and our principles and everything that we do. So definitely making sure and understanding that the game plan and the nitty-gritty details that we talk about just are much more prominent. So when we practice, just overemphasizing everything, making sure we're staying together, staying combined, staying locked in, just ready to go. And the bright lights and the big stage, like these are those opportunities that a lot of teams and a lot of girls wish to have. So we're just grateful, obviously, that we've made it to this point, but understand that it was our hard work that allowed us to be here in the first place. So we just want to continue on doing what we do best.
TK, with the whole team, how is the atmosphere in the locker room? And obviously we've heard from you too, but how are your teammates handling all of this?
I mean, our teammates even just walking into the locker room, they're all excited, like, ooh, Ooh, nice. Like everybody has that type of feeling. And I know they want to keep having that feeling. So as we keep on going through the March Madness, I think everybody will be happy.
How about Coach Semesco? I mean, the guy's a legend. He's been here so many times.
Yeah.
How is he taking all of this and handling it? And do you see any, extra beads of sweat on his forehead, or is he cool, calm,
You can
collected?
tell just like that he really wants it. Just how he's game planning, how he's going through everything. He really wants it. Every time he sees me, he's like, let's go, TK. And I'm like, yeah, it's that time. So it's just like we have to have that mentality of coming in, playing FGC basketball, and try to get the win.
Obviously, in Southwest Florida, this has been a very trying year with the storm. We've talked to you both about that throughout the season. But what would even just one win in the NCAA tournament mean for both of you? And TK, we can start with you.
It would mean a lot. It would mean a lot. I mean, like, just coming into this year with a lot of doubt for our team and just all together. And for us to get that win, it would be like, okay, we did that. But even though we want to get one win, our goal is to get two. So
How about three? How
how
about
about 3? How about 4?
Shay, same question to you. I mean, what would it mean for you and the just Southwest Florida community to do it this year?
I think it's kind of a shock the world moment, not only for ourselves, but kind of for everybody, just to understand that this was a new team. We had a lot of different transfers come in, and it was just kind of trying to figure out how we're going to work together and things like that. And once we hit our groove, we see the record. We've been doing pretty good. And I think that speaks for not only just itself, but just how we have come together and put everything, any type of adversity or obstacles that came our way, including the hurricane, and just working through those different things. So to be on this platform and this stage, just to go out and show that we are more than just our seating. We are more than just what the name of the school is, that we are definitely a community and we are in a family. And like TK said, why not stop at 2? Let's just win them all. I think just having that confidence in ourselves, then we earned this. We've worked so hard, and not saying that any other team hasn't as well, but this is the thing that you work for. You've worked all postseason, throughout the season, injuries, things like that. So we're ready. We're locked in.
Okay. I ran into some FGCU fans on the plane ride up here, so there are some Southwest Florida people coming up to cheer you on.
Nice.
What are you
See some.
expecting from the stands and the fans come tomorrow afternoon?
It's so loving, like the love and support all through this year. Even at away games, that's at least 3 or 4 hours away. We'll still see fans. So just for them to come down and wanting to see our team it's so heartwarming. We just have to love it. Love our fans.
Shay, stepping onto the court tomorrow, maybe you can't do this right now, but what are those feelings going to be like?
I mean, you're right. It's hard to try to imagine that and describe that. And like I said, it was things like this, that moments that you wish for and that I've dreamed of, and just finally for them to actually come to fruition and be there. So tomorrow is going to be a mixture of nerves and emotions, but overall just genuine happiness and just glad to be here. I know I feel like I'm stumbling over my words because I feel like I'm trying to imagine that moment, but more importantly, just ready to go hard for my team and my girls. And I cannot wait for us to have that jump ball and just to get things going.
Yes.
What is maybe one player or one part of Washington State that you guys are really keying in on to make sure that you shut down tomorrow?
Honestly, ourselves.
Okay.
If I had to give an answer. I think obviously, they're a great team. But I think our biggest thing is to worry about what we are about and our principles, and making sure we're focusing on doing everything the FGCU way and things like that.
I've run out of questions.
Does anybody else
Anybody else?
have any questions? Mel, you good? I think we're good. Shay, TK, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you to the gentleman from
Thank you,
Southwest
guys.
Florida for carrying the question load. Thank you. We are joined now by Florida Gulf Coast head coach Carl Smesko. And Coach, if you could begin with an opening statement, talking a little bit about tomorrow's matchup with Washington State.
Yeah, obviously we're in a really good game against a great team. We're really looking forward to it. We know Washington State's been playing great. They won like 7 out of 8. They just won the Pac-10 tournament championship. But we've been playing very well as of late. We've had a great week of practice, and we're looking forward to the competition.
So we'll open it up to questions now, and if you could raise your hand, and we'll get the microphone to you.
Jaron May with WBBH, NBC2 in Fort Myers. Coach, you've been here multiple times, especially recently, going on a stretch. What makes this year different than some of your past runs?
Well, every year's a different year. You have different people involved. For a lot of our players, this is the first time they've had the experience of March Madness, something that everybody looks forward to. We've put in a lot of work. We're preparing. I really like the team's attitude and effort going into this, and we're going to see how far we can take this.
The city, and this was on the men's side while you were still coaching, obviously back in 2013, the men went on a run in Philadelphia. Have you had those thoughts, how this city has kind of been home to a good run for your school? And have you shared that with the team at all?
No, I really haven't. I mean, we're just kind of focused on Washington State. That was a magical run our men's program had, and it was here. But I don't believe in a lot of those things now. If we go on a magical run, maybe I'll start to believe. So hopefully this is the thing that makes me a believer.
With Washington State, what jumps off the page when you're scouting them?
Well, I don't know that it's one thing. I think they're just really well coached. They're really disciplined. They help one another. They're very solid defensively. They control the tempo. They know each other's strengths, and they play into each other's strengths. And, one thing I've noticed, because I've watched games throughout the season, is, how much they've improved throughout the year. And, right now they are just playing excellent basketball. So we know it's going to take a tremendous effort. We're going to have to play really well, but we're looking forward to it.
You said this earlier, there's a lot of new faces, a lot of players that have not been in this environment, in this pressure on your roster. What has been the feeling in the locker room, and how have the players handled these first early days leading up to it, and then especially today, how's everything in the locker room, I guess?
I think everything's great. I mean, we talk about, all year we talk about having March maturity. Like, we handle things in a mature manner. We go about our business. We understand what we're trying to get accomplished. And I've been really happy with our team's focus and their ability to put in a game plan this week. And we're hoping to see it executed well tomorrow.
We've had this same question multiple times throughout the year. However, I think it carries a little more weight now that you are in the tournament. What would it mean to go on a run this year for Southwest Florida after everything that area and those people have gone through?
Well, obviously, this fall was devastating for a lot of the people in the Southwest Florida community, especially out by the beach. Hopefully, I don't know how much us winning basketball games helped that, but if it brings joy to people's life in the area and something for them to be proud of, we would love to be able to deliver it. And, we've definitely been putting in the work, and we're here on a mission to do that, and hopefully we come through for them.
How does your preparations as a head coach change from a regular season game to an ASUN tournament game to now the NCAA tournament?
Really not much at all. We go into every game, no matter the opponent, with a plan. Our players get prepared for everybody. We take everybody as serious as an NCAA tournament game, and then we feel like, when you do that through the course of the year, this doesn't seem like anything different. This is how we prepare for everybody. We know how important the preparation process is. We're just going to be going against a really good team, and our players are aware of that.
Bailey Smith, also same station. So you guys obviously have had the last handful of games at home. So you've had that comfort of the home court advantage, having all of your fans there. We did talk about how we did see some fans on the plane coming up, so you'll have some people here in green and blue. But does having this big game, not being at home, have you seen the nerves coming out of the girls, or just a different way that they're preparing mentally or anything? Or do you think that, just tell me how I guess adjusting to playing on not your home court in a while is?
Well, I feel like we've played really well on the road. In fact, there's not many teams that have played as well as us on the road for a number of years. And I think a part of that is no matter where we play, we prepare the same way. So I don't think our players are thinking about where the game is at. They're just thinking about who they're playing and what their job is to help us be successful.
Coach, at least the last one that I have is I saw the video of you dancing post ASUN championship.
Hey, I would like to say that my back was really stiff going into that.
So
I don't know if that's an accurate portrayal of my rhythm.
So if there is a win next to your team's name tomorrow, are we going to be able to see those same dance moves, or will we have to wait until the Sweet 16 or even further?
No, I think we'll. We're here to win. We're going to celebrate any win that we get, but I don't expect there to be any dancing. We'll be moving right on to the next game and getting ready for that.
Cool. Thank you, Coach.
Any other questions? I think we're good. Thank
All
you,
right,
Coach.
thank you, everyone.